Most people through adversity, they turn around and hide. Most people through adversity, they turn around and run away from the situation because it's uncomfortable and unfamiliar for them. However, you, on the other hand, may be able to go through chaos and still live your day-to-day life. That's a strength that you never knew you had. And why can't that be a strength that you teach other people? Why can't that be a strength that you continue to use on your day-to-day life? Welcome to another episode of Trail Truths. First and foremost, I want to go ahead and say we finally hit 200 subscribers. I want to say thank you to everyone who constantly shares, comments, support, repost, follow me on all my platforms, whether that's you listening to the audio, you watching the visual on YouTube. I appreciate every single last one of you guys. We hit 200 subscribers and we're almost at 400 downloads on the audio platforms. This is a major accomplishment and I couldn't have done it without you guys. So I appreciate you guys so much. Now, get into today's episode. I want to talk about how people allow bad seasons, bad storms to dictate how their life is going to be. I feel as if sometimes in life, we have to learn how to separate the bad from the good. And mostly people think all bad situations are truly bad when they're really not. I feel as if some storms and some bad seasons that we go through, we can truly learn from it. I feel as if we grow in our toughest moments, especially when we're going through bad storms. That could be financially, mentally, and spiritually, or however else you guys experience anything else in your life. A lot of storms come with lessons, and a lot of people don't look at those lessons because they're more focused on the bad rather than the good. I feel as if we can learn from our worst moments. We can learn new ways and new tools within ourselves, because whenever we do go through these moments, it's our most uncomfortable moments. And we always learn how to maneuver through them in ways we never thought we could. I feel as if sometimes we have to separate the pros and the cons from everything that we do, everything that we experience, whether that be good or bad. But now we're talking about the bad. I feel as if some people may look at their financial unstableness as something that is just truly bad, but you can actually learn from that. I feel as if some people do the same thing with their mental health. Some people think if they're wrong mentally, that they're the issue. Some people think if they're wrong mentally, that they don't deserve much. That's not true. Just because you're not mentally in the correct space does not mean you deserve less than anyone else. And in fact, you should actually look at the pros and cons from that. Okay, if I'm going through this mentally, what is going on? What is the issue? What is the root of this issue? It's the same thing like the root of a tree. If you allow it to continue to grow on and grow, all it's going to do is continue to go on and grow. But if you cut it at the bare root, it will stop growing. So let's try identifying the pros and cons. Okay, if you're going through something mentally, is something draining you? Is something causing you to go through that mental phase that you're experiencing right now? Are you hurting from someone? Are you hurting from something? Is something stressing you? Is someone stressing you? Point out these things, and it's not bad to point out anything, especially if it's another person, because like everyone says, you came in this earth alone, you leave this earth alone. The same people that started with you do not have to finish with you. As we grow in life, people outgrow each other. People flourish higher than others. That doesn't mean that they have to stay with you, especially if they're holding you back. Allow yourself to grow, because that's the least you can give yourself. You have to be there for yourself because no one else is going to be there for you. Like I always say in every episode, no one is coming to save you. So why are you focusing on people that are holding you back? Why are you letting these things that are so attached to you, it's so draining to you? Why are you allowing it to drain you? Because it's your life that you're living. You can always unplug them out your life. If something is using too much electricity, if something is using too much of you, you can unplug it from your life. And if you want it back, you can plug it back in. You have to learn how to separate these things and learn from them. If you feel like you're pouring in too many cups and it's starting to leave you dry and empty, learn how to remove cups. Learn how to put lids on cups. Learn how to separate yourself. Learn how to put a lid on your own cup. Because in our life, we decide what we want to do. Now it depends on your circumstances, but in our life, majority of the time, 90% of the time, we decide what we want to do. 90% of the time, no one's holding a gun to your head and telling you, you have to do this. You have to live this way. You have to do X, Y, and Z. That's not happening 90% of the time. It's your life. You decide how you want to live and you decide what you need to do going forward. And it's okay. A lot of people may not have the resources. A lot of people may not have the advice or the guidance in order to move forward. But that's what we have the internet for. That's what we have friends and family for. And that's what you have yourself for. Like I just said in the last episode, I'm glad that I'm able to tell myself I need to boost myself up. I need to do X, Y, and Z. I developed that mindset for myself because that's the least I can do. I'm an adult. I can't expect someone to come and tap me on the shoulder or come and tell me the steps that I need to go in order to be successful in this life that I live. There's certain things that you have to research on your own. There's certain things that you have to believe in and have faith in order to grow. For example, these bad seasons, and I said this in a couple episodes ago, every storm ends with the sun shining. Whether it happens at night, in the morning time, the sun is still going to rise. All these storms that we may experience, even if they may last months, weeks, years, the sun still has to shine at a particular time. Nothing is going to cloud you for the rest of your life. That bad decision you made, that mistake you made, that does not dictate your life. We all have things that we can learn and grow from. It's up to you in order to be able to identify it and see it for what it is. Because truthfully and honestly, you are your own leader in your life. Just how everyone said it's me versus me, that is completely true. And that's in everything you do. As far as waking up early, going to sleep early, going to work on time, everything you do is at your own discretion, at your own time. It's literally you versus you because you're making your decisions for things that could affect your life. And then when you do make a mistake or you do experience hard times, it's up to you to learn from those hard times. Are you going to have the discipline? Are you going to have the mindset? Are you going to have the strength in order to know, okay, I messed up. Let me take accountability for this, but I'm going forward. I'm going to do this. Going forward, I'm going to separate myself from this person. Going forward, I'm going to remove myself from this situation. Going forward, I'm going to do this better. It's all about discipline and accountability because without those two things, all you're going to do is repeat the same mistakes and the same decisions that you continuously keep making that's holding you back. Everyone has the opportunity in life to grow. And I know everyone's circumstances are completely different. We all experience things in different ways, whether that be financially, mentally, or spiritually, or just even emotionally. We all experience things differently. However, you have the resources and you have the opportunity to grow. And like I said, it's all depending on your circumstances. But even the brokest and the poorest people have a voice. They have 2 feet, 2 hands, and arms to where they can go out and make something change for themselves. It may be harder for them, but even the poorest and toughest people don't complain. The people like myself, the people like that are higher in middle class, lower class, or even higher class, find ways to complain when it's actually people out here that's going through things and still making a way for themselves. Whether that be you watching or the people that you're telling this to, you still have the opportunity to grow. It's truly no excuses because it's people in different countries that don't have the resources that you have right now today. And they still find ways to make money. They still find ways to get education. They still find ways to have fun and live their life while going through their seasons or storms. So there's no reason why you should have an excuse. So find ways to separate the pros and the cons from everything you do, all the mistakes you make, everything you learn. Because even the worst seasons are learning lessons. Even the worst seasons are things that you can teach yourself and teach others. Everything that I do, that I preach on here is for me having tough seasons, me having bad seasons, me having storms. I'm getting on here and educating people because I don't want you guys to make the same mistake. And if you're watching this and you relate to what I'm saying, it's up to you now to take what I'm telling you and to learn from it and continue to go forward. I can bring you to the ocean, but I can't make you grab the water. It's as simple as that. I may have got that metaphor wrong, but it's as simple as that. I can't bring you the plate and put the food on there. I can't do everything for you. I can give you the advice and it's up to you to be able to take it. I can't force in your ear and tell you and control your mind to do things in ways that I would or do things in ways that other people would. That's up to you. You have to be disciplined. You have to be willing to learn from your mistakes, and most importantly, be willing to take accountability from the things that you did wrong. It's no rule, it's no guideline, it's no law saying if you mess up, you're done. If you're going through something, it's over. It's no law, no guideline, no rule saying that. So why put yourself through hell because you're going through a tough phase in your life? Learn how to separate things and learn how to make a storm a actually good storm. Because sometimes if you think about it, a lot of things in our life needs rain. When it storms, it rains. The grass needs water in order to grow. What is rain? Water. You have to look at it like that. Just because you're going through a tough phase doesn't mean, all right, I need to shut down. I need to completely separate myself from everyone. Just need to be alone and just let this storm do what it does until it's over. No. Look at the bigger picture. Look what you can take from this and put into your day-to-day life and learn from it. Learn how to have discernment, because in order to grow in life, you have to see past all the fog and all the obstacles that we go through. Because in life, you got the highs, you got the lows, and it's going to continue to happen. Nothing is going to be great forever. Our blessings that we have aren't going to last forever. The luck that we have isn't going to last forever. You're going to experience some hardship. You're going to experience some tough times. You're going to experience some pain. But it's up to you to be able to grow from it. What are you going to do that separates yourself from everything that you're experiencing? What are you going to do that separates the learning from the teaching, from the understanding? Because they all come into contact with each other. You have to be there for yourself. You have to see the vision between the good and the bad and what you need to keep and what you need to let go. Because it's your decision, it's your life. You own up to it. You are in control of everything that you do. And most importantly, stay grounded. Know that it's okay. You're human. It's going to happen. Because at the end of the day, as long as you're flowing, as long as you're going, as long as you're being passionate about the things that you love and that you understand is for you, you're fine. Just because you're going through this tough season, this tough phase, mentally, physically, spiritually, financially, does not mean it's the end of the world. You can still get up and go do better. You can still get up and grow. It's people out here living paycheck to paycheck that are still showing up, doing their day-to-day tasks, living their day-to-day life. And you won't even know it because they continue to show up and knowing that they have faith in something that they can't even see. And that's the point. You have to have faith in something like you already want it without even seeing it. Because if you don't believe in it, how can you achieve in it? I said it in another episode, I can want $1 million, but am I going to work towards getting it? I can see the vision without physically having it, but I'm still going to get up every day and work towards this goal. Just because I'm hurting here does not mean it stops me from grinding here. Because these two things are connected. As long as I have faith and I believe up here, I know in my heart, I'll still be good. I'll still be grounded. You can't allow yourself to go through these storms, through these phases, and allow yourself to bring yourself down and beat up on yourself because you're experiencing something in the moment. Like I said before, storms don't last. You can't allow storms to break your character. You can't allow storms to dictate how emotionally torn you're going to be. Because before that storm, you were good. Why can't you be good after the storm? Before that storm, it was sunny. Why can't it be sunny on the other side of that storm? These are all things that are so significant in our life that we look past and that we clearly don't understand because we feel as if, okay, I'm going through this tough phase. I just have the worst luck. No, maybe. And like I always say, I always don't usually turn towards biblical, but maybe sometimes God is trying to teach you something that you're continuously rebelling against. Maybe God is putting you through this so you can see the bigger picture. Maybe God is putting you through this so you can learn from it. It's a lot of situations where I went into certain seasons questioning myself, thinking that I'm the issue when it was really the things surrounding me that I was pouring my energy into. And I had to go through it repeatedly in order to finally see it. Nothing clicks on the first time. Sometimes you have to keep going through and keep going through and keep going through it until it finally clicks. And when you do, you're going to be like, oh my gosh, I always knew that this was the reason why. We never listen to that tiny voice in our head telling us don't do it. We always run away from it. We always avoid it because we like to double guess in a sense. We like to second guess ourselves and never believe in our initial thoughts, which can be good or bad. But when it comes time where you hit those stumping points, where you hit those stumping grounds where it's a road blockage and you can't grow and get past something that it seems so simple to get past and you can't get it, maybe you have to resolve back to that tiny voice was in your head that was telling you whatever it did. Maybe it was telling you that you need to cut this person off. Maybe it was telling you that you need to move on from this job. Maybe it was telling you that you need to change something that's in your day-to-day life. Because everything happens for a reason. And I feel as if everything that does happen is a lesson to us because it teaches us something new that we may have never knew in to begin with. We go through certain storms and we survive them in ways that we never thought we could do. It's different tools and different mechanisms that we go through and learn from while we're going through the survival mode mindset. Because when we're going through these tough seasons, and especially if it's new to us and it's so uncomfortable, we have to find ways to maneuver through these things. We find ways that we learn to fix these things in ways that we never seen before. Sometimes it may be like, man, I never knew I can do that. I never knew I had that grind in me. I never knew that I had that emotional strength in me, because you have to dig deep. And some of these places are uncomfortable for a reason because it's not meant for everybody to have. The way you strive and the way you succeed through chaos, most people can't do it. Most people through adversity, they turn around and hide. Most people through adversity, they turn around and run away from the situation because it's uncomfortable and unfamiliar for them. However, you, on the other hand, may be able to go through chaos and still live your day-to-day life. That's a strength that you never knew you had. And why can't that be a strength that you teach other people? Why can't that be a strength that you continue to use on your day-to-day life? Most people survive these bad seasons and these bad storms and forget how they survived them. They forget that that strength they had, that courage they had, that motivation and that inspiration they had was a blessing in disguise. They don't see it as something that they continue to use. They only see it as a survival mindset, as a survival mode. That's not the case. Everything that got you out of that tough season, that the lessons, the mindset, even the understanding and the clarity, you can continue to use that in your day-to-day life. It's not the end. It's not the end. And it's truly only the beginning, because like I said before, you're going to continue to go through things where you may need to resolve to the survival mindset that you had. And in order to grow from the survival mindset, you have to learn how to use it and abuse it in ways that benefit you. You can't always turn back to the survival mindset whenever you need it the most. You have to learn how to use it in ways to where you will never need it again. Whether that be you learning how to stop smoking, whether that you be learning how to stop overspending, how to stop overeating, how to stop oversharing. We go through things, we go through the toughest moments, and I truly understand that it builds your character. That's what I believe in. Adversity builds character, because there's a lot of people out here that are talented, that'll go through adversity, that are smart, that'll go through adversity, and they won't use what they're blessed with to get out of those situations. And then I'm going to give you an example. Just like all the athletes in this world, there's a lot of athletes that go through the toughest time, but they don't let that take away from their talent. But it's some talented athletes that when they hit adversity, they say, I'm not going through this because I know what I'm worth. I'm not going through this. I'll hold out. People aren't going to lean on that athlete. People want the people that are going to continue to strive through adversity, because that shows your true character. Who are you going to be when no one's paying attention? Who are you going to be when it's your toughest moment and everyone is still depending on you? Who are you going to be? Because that person is who you truly are, and that person is what your character represents. That's what your last name represents. That's who you are as a person. Not who you are when everything's going well, but who are you when everything is going bad? That's what's going to build your character. That's what's going to show people who you truly are as a person. Because a lot of us are blessed with gifts that people need from us, even when we're going through our toughest times. Who are you going to be when the lights are dim and you can't see nothing? Are you going to turn around and go towards the entrance, or are you going to try to find the exit with the least amount of light that you do have? because the people that's going back to the entrance, they still got to make it out through that tunnel, whether they like it or not, whether they're going to keep waiting for more light to come or look for a cheat code to get to the end of the tunnel. Who are you going to be through adversity? Because adversity builds character. These storms that you're going through, these storms that are continuously impacting your life, they're going to go away, but they're going to come back. So who are you going to be? How are you going to represent your last name? How are you going to represent the people that depend on you? How are you going to represent yourself? Because a lot of people, like I said in the last episode that just passed, a lot of people depend on bad coping mechanisms. A lot of people say, I'm not going to do it. It'll solve itself. I'm just going to smoke my pain away. I'm just going to drink my pain away. And whenever it ends, it'll end. And all you're doing is this clock that you think is just spinning, and it has an expiration time that is going to automatically punch itself out. No. Most of these clocks, they depend on you to punch them. And if you're not going to take accountability for what's going on in your life, whether you're at fault or not, that clock is going to keep on spinning. Because one thing about time doesn't wait for nobody. The same way we wake up every and each day, and the time is continuously going to be the same. It's going to be 1 o'clock, 2 o'clock. Time isn't going to say, okay, I need him to get his stuff together, so I'm going to pause at 2 o'clock. It's not going to do that. It's not. Time is no one's best friend. Because at some point in our life, we all have an expiration date. So you can continue to live in this terrible way that you already don't like and don't want to fix until your expiration date comes, or you can get up, fight for what you love, fight for what you want, and fight for yourself and the greater life that you deserve before your expiration clock is due. Because at the end of the day, we all got our time, whether we like it or not. Are you going to live in the best moments, or are you going to live in your worst moments? That's up to you. Solely. And like I said before, it depends on people's circumstances, because we're not all blessed to have the particular resources, the particular knowledge in order to get through these hurdles that we may experience. But that is no excuse, because we all have the decisions in order to figure out what we're going to do. And that starts with the coping mechanisms. And I preach it all the time because I'm so big on mental health. Is the simplest things that we can do. Motivating yourself, setting goals, setting standards, setting boundaries. All these things are simple coping mechanisms that can lead to greater goals. Once you have discernment and you learn how to separate everything from the cloud and the smoke and the fog, you'll see the bigger picture. You'll see that you don't have to always turn to drugs and alcohol in order to be better. And I'm not saying that's a bad thing, but I'm saying in order to cope, that's a terrible thing to use. You don't always have to turn to what's familiar in order to grow and to do better. Those people that you're so comfortable with, they may be the reason why you're going through what you're going through. But you don't want to take accountability for that because you think that you can fix them. You think they can change. That's not always the case. Some things are interchangeable. Like, you can't change it. You cannot control certain things. And that's the biggest thing in life. You have to be able to control what you can control. These people that you want to do better, you can't control them and have them do better. That's something that they have to do on their own. The places that you go to, the jobs that you love, the jobs that may be holding you back from reaching that higher level, you can't control them. You can't tell them what to do. You're on their clock. You're on their time. They are allowing you to do whatever you do, and they will move forward how they want to move forward. It's the same thing with people and places and just everything in life. You can't control what's not yours in a sense. Control what you have control over, and whatever you don't, let it be. Stop dwelling on the things that you have no control over. If your car breaks down, if it breaks down out of nowhere, don't beat yourself up about it. You can't control that. Your car is going to break down at some point in time in your life. It's not your fault. It's truly not your fault. It's a lot of things that happen that we truly have no control over. Whether that be people stop speaking to us, whether that be people treating us incorrectly. Even if you're the nicest person in the world, somebody's going to be disrespectful for you, whether that be the waiter at your table, whether that be the person that didn't hold the door for you, whether that be the teacher that didn't believe in you, whether that be your friends. that you thought would support you, you have no control over their actions. You cannot physically move their arms, make their decisions. You cannot do anything for them. That is something that you no longer have control over. I had to learn that. I truly had to learn that. I can't get people to understand my point of view. I can't get people to believe in me. I can't get people to treat me with respect, but I'm going to continue to do what I'm doing. I'm going to continue to live in a positive way because I know somebody will. Somebody will respect me. Somebody will believe in me, and somebody will have faith in me. Just because they don't do it don't mean somebody else won't. I don't have control over the people that may not like what I'm doing. I don't have control over the people that may not understand me, may not see the bigger picture. But what I do have control over is how I move going forward. As simple as that. And one example that I want everybody to look at, because I know everybody relates to, is learning how to say no. Learn how to say no. Learn how to put yourself first. You have control over that. Now, the thing that you don't have control over is what you do for people and what they reciprocate. Just because you do something for them doesn't mean they're going to do it back for you. You don't have control over their responses to things and how they reciprocate energy and love to you. You don't. Because if you give somebody $1,000, that doesn't mean they're going to love you or that they have to love you or that they're going to give it back to you. You don't have control over that. If you keep pouring into these people that don't pour back into you and you want them to do it, you don't have control over that. Either they're going to do it or they're not. It's up to you in order to move forward going, is this person for me? Is this situation for me? Is this place for me? I keep doing this. I keep doing X, Y, and Z, and nothing is being reciprocated. What am I going to do? What are you going to do? Throughout all these storms and situations that we experience, what are you going to do? What is your next? What is your why? These are things that you have to focus on. These are things that you have to look at. And like I said, they all begin with the coping mechanisms. If you have great coping mechanisms as if you believe in yourself, as if you trust in yourself, as if you know how to move on, it'll lead into your decision making. Because if it's foggy up here, you won't know what to do here. Both of these are connected together. I say it every time. Because if I can't think straight, how can I feel straight and how can I treat other people well? So you must have these two things in tune in order to be able to make decisions. You can't just think with your heart every time with big decisions, because there's going to come a time in your life where you have to think with your head and your heart. Just because you love or you have a specific emotion for it doesn't mean it's mentally correct. A lot of people love bad people that aren't meant for them, but that's not the correct thing to do. You have to learn how to have discreetly. You have to learn how to separate everything from the fog. That way you can see clearly what's for you and what's not for you. These terrible storms that we go through, these bad seasons that we go through, they do not last long. You have to control what you can and most importantly, avoid what you can't. It's very important. It's very specific. It's very detailed because all these things are what going to hinder you from growing. And everything I talk about is growing. Every aspect, every significant story, advice I give is about growing. Because my goal is to allow people to understand that through our day-to-day lives that we live and that we go through, there is always a sunshine a part of it. No matter how bad life is, you should always wake up with a reason wanting to smile. No matter how bad life is, you should always wake up with a reason wanting to live. Because I always say it, you deserve better. You're great. You're a great person. You have a great heart. And you may not see it, but I do. I don't even have to look at you to tell you this. You're a great person. There's no one in this world that is able to tell you that you're the worst person in the world. They don't know the other people. They don't know what you're going through. They don't know what you experience, but you're still getting up every day with the breath that God gave you, getting up, waking up, and going to move forward. As long as you're doing that, you're the greatest person. As long as your intentions are good, you're the greatest person. You're using what God gave you to move forward and do better. But just because you experience these storms does not mean that you're going to fail in life. That doesn't mean that you're going to stop and pause and never grow. It doesn't mean that because, like I said before, not to be so biblical, but these things that you're going through could truly be lessons from God. And if you think about it, these things that you go through unlock different blessings, it unlock different skills, it unlocks different mindsets that you would have never thought you had. And that's so important. Like I can't over say it enough. Like we go through things in order to learn and grow. It's as simple as that. We grow to get older. We grow mentally. We grow spiritually. We grow financially. We all have growths and then we have our highs and our lows. I like to look at life whenever I go through something. It's like a you pause in something. Not the clock at least, but you're pausing your life. And whenever you pause something, you can see everything for what it is. It's like you're freezing time in a moment. And you're starting to see the clarity behind everything that's happening. You're starting to see, okay, I paused this. I see I'm overspending here. I'm not spending my money wise. I see this person isn't really for me. I see this person right here isn't really having my best interest at heart. I see this job isn't willing to promote me. They're not willing to help me grow. I see this person that I'm telling everything to is telling everybody else, and they're not keeping what's so secretive with me, what between us. You can see everything for what it is once you pause and take a step back and look at everything and continue to nitpick and grow and separate yourself from what's good and what's bad. Because it's your decision, it's your life. If you're not willing to take a step back and look at the bigger picture or look where you're at in life, you will never be able to grow. Especially like I know I said it before, like it's depending on circumstance, but what as much resources as we have today, it's truly no excuse. And that depends, like I said, it depends on your circumstances, but it's still no excuse. Because the same way you can get up every day and go at what you deserve is the same way you can get up every day and get what's meant for you. You wake up every day, grab your phone. Why can't you wake up every day and go hustle? You get up every day and want to text people. Why can't you get up and go get better for yourself? Why can't you do the things that you want to truly do? You want to be rich? Get up and go be rich. Get up and find ways to go be rich. You want to take care of your family? Get up and find ways where you can take care of your family. You want to live the lifestyle that you want to live? Get up and find a way to live the lifestyle that you want to live. Just because you're going through a terrible season or a terrible storm does not mean that clock is stopping for you. That does not mean that you have to stop from doing what's meant for you. Take what you can from that bad season, learn from it, and use it in order to grow. Literally. Because once you stop watering your plant, once you stop watering your heart, your mind, it will dry out and it will die. It's the same thing as plants. It's the same thing as trees. It's the same thing as anything that requires something to grow. ATMs will require money in order to stay in business. It's as simple as that. All these things that we need to invest in and put into to grow is in our day-to-day life. You want money, clock in, go get to work. You want money, find a business, find a way that you can make money. You want education, go read. You want education, go to school. We all have to do something in order to get what we truly want. And if you want a better lifestyle, if you want to prevent these storms from happening so often, find ways to where you can learn from them and avoid them. And like they say, the best way to understand things, the best way to get knowledge about things is to read, because they put everything in books that we want to know because they know we won't read it. You can read it online. You can read it on your phone. You can watch a video. You can do whatever. Like I said, there's so many resources out here that are free. Free at that. Free. Investing your times in ways that'll help you grow. Stop turning to these bad coping-isms. Stop avoiding them. Because like I said, these seasons, these bad times are not stopping for no one. The clock doesn't stop because you're going through it the worst way. It's going to continue to roll. And if you're not putting in or investing into fixing it, it's going to continue to get worse. It's going to continue to get worse. And that's how your life will be. It will be a revolving circle. You'll keep going through things and keep going through things because you don't want to look at the bigger picture. You don't want to grow from it. You don't want to understand why this is happening to you. It's going to continue to happen. And like I said, we as young adults or older adults, we have to make that decision for ourselves. There's no one coming to tell us to, hey, bro, I'm kind of seeing this is starting to happen. I think you need to change this. It's a rare, slim chance that that's ever going to happen in your life. You want to know why? Because people have their own life to live. You have to want it as bad as you want to breathe. You have to want it as bad as you want to succeed. The change that you want has to be your number one priority. The discipline, the accountability, and the understanding that it's on you. Control what you can, avoid what you can't, remove what you can't, understand what you can't. Do it for yourself, most importantly, if you can't do it for your family. Do it for your last name because your last name represents who you are. Your last name builds the character about yourself. You are your last name. Simple as that. You have to be there and be willing to represent yourself in everything that you do, everything that you step forward in. These seasons, these bad situations are not the end of the world. I've been through them. You've been through them. Your parents been through them. Your friends been through them. Your coworkers been through them. And they're all next to you every day you wake up. So why can't you wake up and want better for yourself? Why can't you wake up and go and take over that storm? Wake up with a purpose. Wake up with a reason to want to do better for yourself. I know you can do it. Like I always say, I've been through depression and my depression lasted for 4 years. That storm lasted for 4 years because I avoided it. Don't let that be you. Don't let it be you. Because you want to know how I got through my storms. I woke up and I said, I want better. I deserve better. I didn't go through all this for nothing. This is not my life. It has to be a turning point. And instead of waiting for a turning point that came, I made my own turning point. I decided that things had to change because I got tired of it. I knew it was a bigger picture. I knew that everything I was going through was a lesson. Everything I was going through was to teach me in order to either not do it again or teach me to grow or to learn from it. And I know one of my blessings is being able to get on this platform and talk about it in order to teach other people. Because I may can't see you, but I know that you're going through something that I'm speaking about. I may can't see you, but I know that you have some emotional feeling in your heart that you're not getting over, whether that be mentally, physically, or spiritually. You have something in your heart that's bothering you. And even if you're at peace, it's something that's going on that you want more out of, whether that be your job, your career, your friends, your family, your loved one. It's something that you want more out of. So why aren't you willing to go and get it? Storm or no storm, why aren't you willing to go get it? Because you deserve better. You deserve to be able to wake up happy and peaceful. You deserve all the things and more in your life. So why aren't we willing to go get it? Stop letting these obstacles, these storms, these bad seasons dictate how your life is going to be. Because on the way to success, on the way to growth, that street does not tell you to turn around. It tells you directly, jump over this hurdle if you want to continue to grow. Jump over this situation or get through this situation if you want to continue to grow. It's no sign that says wrong turn, other way. It does not tell you that. You have to get through these obstacles each and every day in order to grow. No, your life isn't telling you to hit a U-turn and start all the way over. And there's nothing wrong with starting over. If you feel like in this season you're supposed to start over from where you're at, that's not you hitting a U-turn. That's you getting through an obstacle and continuing to grow. Because if you want to consider that starting over, why aren't you starting over from zero? Why aren't you starting over at the first day you were born? Why aren't you starting over with everything instead of this one thing that you have to start over with? Think about it like that. Think about it. We have to be willing to go through these storms and learn from them and move forward. I'm not telling you hide your tail and duck and hide. because that's not how you grow. Everyone wants to avoid what they're going through instead of taking it head on. That's not how you grow. That's not how you flourish. You can't cover a plant without sun and expect it to grow. That's not how things work. You cannot water a plant and expect it to grow. That's not how things work. You have to continue to allow the sunshine to shine on you, whether it's your darkest times, whether it's your toughest times. You have to be willing to embrace it. You have to be willing to pour in yourself through your darkest times if you want to grow. Everything leads back into growth. And whatever is a bad root, whatever is cancerous, you cut it off. You remove it because you have control over that. You have control over what is not for you. You do not have control over what other people do. You do not have control of what other things do, but what is for you and what is happening to you, you have control over because it's you. We are sometimes our biggest competition because we debate with our own self on whether we're doing the right thing or the wrong thing. Don't allow the negative mindset to win. Don't allow the negative emotions to win. Because once they win, they take over everything. And it's vice versa. If you allow the positivity to win here and the positivity to win here, you win. Nothing will be able to come your way. And of course, you're going to experience hurdles. But since you already have a good heart and a good mind, it's unbearable. It's you can't even compete with it. Be there for yourself. You deserve much more, and everything else in this world, go after it. Because at the end of the day, you got you. You deserve everything and more. So why can't you go out and go get it? Why can't you go out and achieve the things that you deserve? Why can't you go out and achieve things even in your toughest moments? You have to always look at the bigger picture. Always take from things that happen to you as a blessing, as a lesson, as a teacher moment. That way you can grow from it and teach it to others so they can grow from it. Because that's what I'm doing with you guys. I experienced everything that I'm talking about. I experienced all the hardship. I experienced all the losses, all the misunderstandings. And that's what I'm getting on here and telling you guys about it. I've lost friends. I've lost loads of money. I've been depressed. All of these things and more, I've been there. I've been there where I've questioned myself and told myself I wasn't enough. I've been there where I questioned myself and said, was I or am I the problem? I've been in these tough positions because that's how life is. And I wouldn't be able to get on here and talk about it if I never made it through. If I never made it to the point where I knew I deserved better and I knew that I am a better person, I wouldn't be able to get on this mic and tell you. I wouldn't. Because I wouldn't have the knowledge. I wouldn't have the understanding of it's not always my fault. It's not always on me for the things that happen in my life. Sometimes the most blessed people get hit with the unfortunate situations. And that is solely to teach them and educate them on things that they were not understanding of or not comfortable with or not even grasping the concept of. Like, I feel as if we allow ourselves to get to points in our life where we just shut down, and that's not the way to do it. Just because I'm going through a tough season doesn't mean it's the end. Just because I'm going through a hard phase of life doesn't mean it's the end. I'm going to take that situation, I'm going to milk it, I'm going to learn what I can learn and how I can use it in my everyday life. It's as simple as that. All of you guys deserve better. All of you guys deserve much more than what you're giving yourself now. Even if you feel like you're as blessed as you already can be, you still deserve more blessings. Because all blessings come with an expiration date. And it's up to you to be willing to either spread those blessings or willing to expand those blessings in some type of way. Either expand them in multiple for yourself or expand them in multiple for other people. Everything comes with an expiration date. Everything. So what are you going to do to better yourself through the storm you may be going through? What are you going to do to better yourself through the things that you may be experiencing at this current time of your life? What are you going to do? I'm challenging you. Use this tough season as a lesson, as an experience in order to not repeat it again. Use this tough lesson as a reason to be able to teach others, your friends, your family, your loved ones, to not make the same mistakes, or not to prepare them if this may happen to them. Because just because you're going through it doesn't mean there's 1,000 other people that's not. We all go through tough storms. We all go through tough phases. What are we going to do to change that narrative? What are we going to do to change that from happening in our day-to-day lives? What are we going to do to spread awareness on how to get past it? Because at the end of the day, it's all up to us. We make that decision. We make that final decision if this is going to be enough, or are we going to allow it to continue to happen. Have faith in yourself, believe in yourself, and allow yourself to understand that you're not perfect. And like I said in the first ever episode, we're human. We're not heroes. These capes that we think we wear, these superpowers that we think we have, that's all fiction. We need to be able to understand that we're going to go through things in life, and it's going to put us in uncomfortable positions and have us going through tough phases where we need to sit back and learn, and sit back and understand that certain things aren't for us, or certain things need to happen in order for us to see the bigger picture. We need to understand that, because all these superheroes and all these heroes that we know today never go through anything bad. They may experience tough situations where they go against certain people or certain phases, and it doesn't bother them, especially for a long period of time. That's not us. We're human. We bleed like each other bleed. We bleed and we cry and we're emotional, and we can be damaged. We're not invincible. Nobody's invincible. So what are we going to do to conquer these things? Avoid the bad coping mechanisms. Control what you can, avoid what you can't. And understand that every bad storm isn't always a bad storm. Learn how to manipulate the game just like you manipulate everything else in life. Learn how to manipulate the bad just like you manipulate everything else in life. Learn how to control these situations that occur to you, whether it's good or bad. Always look for a way that you can learn and grow from every situation that you encounter, because that's the least that you can give to yourself. That's the least that your own personal growth deserves. So do it for you. If not, do it for your family. If not, do it for your purpose in life. Do it for you. And that's the episode, man. I want to also mention, before I go ahead and head out and close out the episode, I have merch on the way. I have a lot of projects on the way, and I have big special guests on the way. So I want you guys to stay tuned. Always keep watching. Always follow all my social media platforms. Trade Truths everywhere, and at One Real Trade everywhere. Those are my only two social media handles. You can find me on everywhere, on every platform. And y'all know I am with the outro. Go.